Okay. So it's 10:02. So let me share my screen and start this presentation. Just a moment. Yeah. Can anyone of you confirm whether you're able to see my screen?
Yeah, the screen is visible, sir.
Sounds good. Thank you. So yeah, let me go into. Yeah.
Sir, shall we start?
Yeah, sure. Yes, we can start. Yeah.
A warm welcome to one and all present. First, I would like to welcome our department student, Miss S. Manju, 3rd BSc Computer Science, to deliver a welcome address. With great honor, I welcome our principal ma'am, today's guest speaker, teachers and students. We are glad to have you all here for this special event. Thank you for being part of this meaningful program. Thank you, sister. Next, I would like to welcome Mrs. R. Saubarnika ma'am, Assistant Professor of Computer Science, to introducing the Chief Guest Address.
Good morning, sir. Gopal Kaladaran is a technical marketing engineer at A.K.D.Dharma with nearly 4 years of industry experience. I specialize in creating a client-facing material including product guides, solution briefs, technical demonstrations, and product explanatory animated videos that support both business development and sales initiatives. In addition, he also supported product pre-sales activities and contributed to the product management, bridging the gap between technology and the customer needs. Outside of the work, he enjoyed music, reading, traveling, and taking part in the creative modeling project with the gaming communities across the globe. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to welcome our Chief Guest, Mr. Kogul Kaladaran, Technical Marketing Engineer at A.K.D.Dharma, to share your valuable words.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a wonderful intro. Thank you, ma'am. So first of all, good morning to everyone. So I would like to thank the college management and Rajesh Kumar for setting up this opportunity for me to talk to you guys about, the big two trends in the current technical world, which is one is the generative AI and one is edge AI. So yeah, let me start with a very simple thought. So every generation has one moment where the technology stops feeling like a tool and starts feeling like a magic, right? So for our parents, that moment was probably television. Imagine someone who grew up listening only to radio, suddenly seeing moving images inside a small box at home. Okay, it must have felt like a miracle. And for some of us, it was the internet. Think about how earlier, if you wanted to know something and you want to get some information from someone, you had to ask someone or go to a library to get that particular information that you needed. Now, you type one sentence in Google and the answers are appears instantly. So the life has become very simple from where we want to go to a place and to fetch thousands of books and to get a specific data. Now it's easy that you can just Google words or even you can use the ChatGPT tools to get your answers and even it can provide you brief details about what you're looking for. And currently in this generation who are sitting today in this particular meeting, it's the moment is about artificial intelligence. So not the movie style AI with the glowing eyes and robots chasing humans, but it's quite helpful that AI writes, draws, and suggests things, predicts things, and assists us. Sometimes so smoothly that we forget it's even there. So today I want to talk about two ideas shaping that future. As I told, one is the generative AI and one is the edge AI. So yeah, and I promise I'll try to keep this very simple and no heavy theories, no scary technical terms, jargons in the industry words. Just simple ideas and some of my experiences when I come across using these two particular technologies. Okay. So moving on to generative AI, let's go back in time for a moment. Okay, so the traditional software works like a strict instruction book. So if this happens, do that, right? For example, if you press play, music starts. If you enter a wrong password, the access is denied. If it rains, the weather app shows a cloud icon in your smartphone. So this is very restricted and limited. So the computer doesn't think, like it doesn't imagine. It simply follows rules like a very obedient child. So that works well, but only up to a point. So there are limitations. Now imagine telling your computer, write a birthday story for my grandmother, or draw a dragon riding a bicycle, and explain photosynthesis like a bedtime story. So the old softwares like would simply fail. It wasn't built for that, right? They were very instructive. They had a specific kind of commands that is given. They only react to and reflect it. But now it is changing. So this is where the generative AI enters. So generative AI doesn't just execute commands; it creates new things. So think of it like this. Okay, traditional software is a calculator, but the generative AI is a creative assistant with a notebook. So it studies the patterns, like how languages flows, how images are shaped, what are the colors, what are the shapes, how music sounds, how video is done, how video moves. So and then produces something original based on the learning, like the way you do. So you learn things from colleges, you understand the concept, you create something new for the future, right? So nothing copied, nothing memorized, but newly formed. So this is a massive shift in the technical industry right now at the moment. So this is all about the generative AI part. And the second part is the text to the words concept. So this is when the words become reality. So now let's imagine something fun. Okay, suppose a child says, "I want a jungle where elephants wear sunglasses and monkeys drink coconut water." Right, this is sentence said by a child. Earlier, in the old time, this would remain just a funny sentence. People will laugh. Something like this is never going to happen. நடக்கவே நடக்காது. So, but today, AI can turn that sentence into, like, you can think about an image. You can turn that into an image. If you want a video, you can turn that into a video. If you want a 3D virtual environment of your forest with all this happening, you can wear a metaverse glasses and you can just walk through the environment. This is all possible today. This concept is called, or this idea is called, the text to the words. Okay, so this is the point where words become instructions for the creation. It's like giving imagination of yours a remote control. So earlier, creating a 3D world of particular elements and assets required designers, expensive softwares, and the years of learning. And I can vouch for that because I am a certified graphic designer. And when I started learning all the Adobe Cloud and Photoshop and stuff, it was very hard for me, to understand the concepts and to recreate something that is in my mind. But currently, it is very easy for me because I have the technical expertise of what I've learned, and now AI has comes into the game. I can use that AI to create it more efficiently. For example, the images you see on the left, a castle on a purple environment with a purple sky. I created this using ChatGPT. So this is very easy to do, right? Just think about this. In earlier days, it's very hard to create something like this. A painter or an artist have to come and sit down for hours, even for weeks, with a canvas, size of big canvas, and have to draw this to align the colors properly, to match the colors perfectly and blend to one particular canvas. But today, with the simple English terms and sentences, you can just create wonders which you have imagined. So you can also try something like that. For example, a teacher or a professor can build a virtual classroom inside an ancient Rome. So that is possible to do. Like a student can create a science experiment simulation using this AI. And a storyteller can see their imaginations comes alive using this all the concepts that he has in his mind. You just need to understand simple English and type it in, you can get the visuals that he needs. So this was very miraculous thing in the past, but today it's not. It's happening today in between us, all around us. So the only thing that we need to do is take part in this activity and start creating our own. So creation is no longer limited by skill. It's limited only by your curiosity. If you are not curious enough to, understand the concepts, and if you are not curious enough to imagine wide varieties of concepts, you have a limitation with these generative AI. So there are a lot of uh, possibilities around the world right now that you can create and construct and gives a breakthrough to the technology using this AI. So this feels very personal to everybody because there are things that can be done easily, and we often think that creativity belongs to only artists and musicians, right? But think about daily life activities, like for example, like when you decide to how to explain something to a friend, that is creativity. When you plan a trip and imagine the experience that you're going to experience, that's the creativity. Your imagination is creativity. And when you rearrange your room to feel better, and currently your room may be crowded, but you want to rearrange it in a very precise manner that it looks very beautiful and very usable and very neat. So that is also creativity. It's nothing that drawing or creating music or creating videos. It's not. That's not only part of creativity. Everything that you imagine you do to have a better future is creativity. So generative AI supports these everyday moments. Like uh, like writing a polite message, right? If you want to send a polite message, but when you don't know the right words for it, AI can help you today, right? If you want to create a mail to somebody requesting a job or requesting a particular thing that you need, but you have to be very polite with that person, but you don't know how to sound it very polite. You can use ChatGPT, you can use Midjourney, you can use Perplexity AI. There are a lot of tools around here, which is free of course, and you can use these tools to understand how this politeness works, and they can create and write it for you. So that's how we are standing at the moment in the part of technology. So use it and start evolving with it, and it can be very enjoyable experience all the way. And the best part about this technology is it doesn't judge us, right? It doesn't judge according to what we ask to do. If you ask something, I don't know whether this is the right standard structure of email that I want to send to this person. Could you please help me? It doesn't judge like others. Oh, this guy doesn't know English. No, it doesn't judge. It helps you instead. So that is something that we got an open window to, right? We can talk to him. We can talk to this particular AI using the understanding language that we know. We don't need to be experienced and experts in English language or any other languages. You can just type it in, and it will help you. Right? That's how it goes. And the second thing is it doesn't get tired. Right? We all get tired. Some moment we all get outsting and we just stop working and we just take some time out and it comes back. But AI is not taking any break. And if you create a particular AI program that can work for you, it will work for you when you are not there. Right? So this is also an opportunity that's got happen. And the third thing is my favorite. It's always needed to help. We only need internet connections for this. If you just enable the mobile data in your phone and ask ChatGPT what you need, it will respond to you very promptly in a couple of seconds, and it will give you the detailed data about what you're asking for. So this is also something that we are looking at. So the next thing, which is the real world applications of with this generative AI. So let's take this very concrete. Okay, so there are things that is changing all around the globe with the help of AI. So we can talk about education, right? Instead of reading about the solar system, students can walk between the planets in a virtual space like environment. It's like turning textbook into adventure park, right? So the perspective is that if somebody can experience what they're learning, they learn it better, right? That's one thing. And the second thing is storytelling and filmmaking. So this is gonna happen very soon. So yeah, somebody's mic is on unmute. Could you please mute that? Yeah, thank you. So there's something in the storytelling and filmmaking environment that's happening. The changing AI is changing everything that comes to be. For example, a writer can describe a scene to AI, and the AI instantly shows how it might look on screen. It's like seeing a movie trailer before the movie even exists. For example, we can talk about the famous director, Mrs. Rajamouli, right? He's one of the best directors of our century, and he's using AI for it. I don't know whether you have seen one of his latest interviews about his new film Varanasi. He's talking about he used AI to create scenes right? You want to shoot next day, but yesterday, but today night he started working with the AI, with his cameraman and photographers, how the scene should look, what frame should be, what color grading should be, what lighting should be, what lighting standard should be, how the shadow should appear, how the subject or the actor should come into the frame. Everything was created using AI even before they started shooting, and they fixed the frames and the colors and the highlight, and they packed it up and they started shooting without any problem. And he mentioned that doing this saved him a lot of time and an enormous amount of money, right? Because obviously he do magnetometers films, so it will cost him a lot of money. So what happened is when he started using AI to create something that doesn't make sense, it helps him to understand his films and his craft better, and he can create it in a more efficient manner rather than just not trying to think about what he's going to shoot next. Even though we have the script and the scenes, his script and the scenes can be brought into life before he can shoot with a real camera. So that's how the technology is changing the storytelling and the filmmaking industry today. The third thing is the architecture and design, right? So, like for example, if you're an architecture and engineer, so if the client comes and says, "I want a house that stays calm," that's the requirement of the client. And in the earlier days, it was very hard for the engineers and architects to use the AutoCAD software and to create multiple versions of interiors, exteriors, all the the environmental plans and kind of the landscaping plans. So at that point of view, there are multiple engineers and architects working together to figure out how should be a calm place must be for this client. But today it's changed, right? So AI generates multiple visual design instantly when you give the prompt. So no guessing because you're already expert. You have learned a lot of things with the model that it's trained. So he gives perfect examples of how a calm house or a room or a particular landscaping should look like. It gives what kind of plant should be placed in this particular house, what kind of plant should be placed in this particular living room, how what colors should be used in the living room for a calm appearance, what kind of furniture should be used, what kind of what should be the colors of the furniture that we're going to use. And even if you want to go to an extent, it will even tell you what kind of floorings, what kind of paint, what kind of roof, what kind of electrical devices color should you use for the complete sync of getting the environment into a calm and fostered situation. So that's how the things are changing today. So architects already working with this. A lot of high-tech architect firms, enterprise firms are using AI to get their client a virtual walkthrough of their spaces. For example, one of the companies in Mumbai used the meta glasses to make the client show his house before even it's created. The drawing was only created in the virtual environment, and the client can wear the meta glasses, the metaverse glasses, and he can walk through his house. He can see his kitchen. He can go look at the bedroom. And the best part is, if the particular bedroom is in a maybe beige color, he can change the color of the wall instantly, and he can judge. Okay, this color looks better in this particular room. So yeah, this is law. So even the decision making has changed for the client as well as the creation efforts has been changed for the architects and designers. So this is also a big leap today. When we talk about gaming, this is a big industry. Okay, this is a very big industry today. It's making billions of dollars every year, and it's getting up to it. So games are becoming intractable over the time, right? In the olden days, we used to just play games according to the missions that is provided. But nowadays, games are becoming more intractable. There are games that changes their story based on how you play it. I'll give you a couple of examples. Okay, I don't know whether you guys know about these games. If you don't know, you can search it across the internet. There are games like Red Dead Redemption, RDR2, and there are games like Dying Light. So these two games are based on the interactions of the player. For example, there are certain missions in the game where you need to take a decision, and that decision changes the entire endpoint of the game. The ending is completely changed according to the decisions you make in the game's mission. So this is interaction. AI is going to change it, and it's going to make it more real. How that, because if you're doing something in the game and it remembers, okay, the character, the player inside this particular character is doing this, so next time when he comes to this particular space it should reflect, and the storyline changes according to that. For example, in mission number one, you help somebody, and and in a particular town in a game environment. Okay, think about this. If you help somebody in a particular town in a game environment, and you visit that particular town in mission 7, which is after 6 missions or 5 missions, um, you that particular person remembers you, and he comes and talks to you and he offers helps. So this is all based AI. So I hope you know the company called Nvidia, which is the graphic cards makers. So they are evolving their RTX series cards to make sure that the AI can be integrated with their cards and the gaming experience can be given to all the players around the globe. So this is also happening. And I know this big game coming out in 2026, which is called the GTA 6. This also has integrated AI into it, which gives you a universal experience for every players, so they can enjoy their game in their own way. And if you are the person, you get a different storyline for the entire game. If somebody else is the person, they'll get a different storyline according to their behavior in the entire game. So things like things are getting that we spoke about in the earlier days. If this could be like this, and it's not possible in the earlier times, but today, without even nobody looking at the game's code, the AI is helping the game's environment to change according to the new behavior of the game. So that's a big leap in the gaming industry today. And you can see some of them already working up with big companies to create these kind of games, and you'll be seeing some of them in 2026, mid of 2026. You can check it out on the internet. So this is all happening today. So these are not science fiction ideas that I'm talking about. They are already part of the world. People are working on it. People are learning about it, and people are understanding the concept that AI is a collaborator for us. It's not a replacement for us. If I work with AI, it can enhance my productivity and it can enhance my efficiency rather than just replacing me. So this is how the world is going to change for these kind of industries today. So everybody is excited for this, right? Everybody is excited for generative AI and creativity stuff. So, like, there are three big reasons that I believe that generative AI feels like a revolution. Okay, there are three reasons that particularly I believe from my experiences using all the AI tools for my job and my daily life matters. So the first one is speed, right? When what once took weeks to do now takes only minutes. Like, just for example, this is a vague example, I think. Like cooking with a pressure cooker instead of a traditional stove. The traditional stove takes a lot of time, right? But when you do something, cook something with a pressure cooker, it reduces the amount of time but gives you better results. Oh, so this is something that's going to happen with the speed, and I love it. And the second thing, I think this is the accessibility part of it. So you don't need years of training to create something impressive. In the earlier days, you have to learn a particular technology. You have to practice with all the softwares that is there in the particular technology, and you have to create something of your own. Understand how the tools work, understand how the algorithm works, understand how the color palettes work, and so everything is very hard. But you'll reach there somehow. But today, you don't need that. For example, you can do whatever you want to feed with a prompt. That's how it is. Like taking a photo with a smartphone instead of learning professional photography first. If you want to learn professional photography, you have to invest a lot. And you have to get a professional DSLR camera or a mirrorless camera. Then you have to learn how the lighting works. Then you have to learn how the ISO works in the camera. Then you have to know all the settings in the camera. So before you take the photo of a subject, you say, okay, இல்ல நான் நாளைக்கு வந்துடுறேன் எனக்கு டைம் கிடையாது. So it will take a lot of time. But at the same time today, as you can see in a lot of, if you're the people who are using the social media, right? Instagram, Facebook kind of stuff. So when you look at Instagram and Facebook stuff, people can enter the prompt there and they can create a different photo of them wearing a suit, wearing a sari, wearing a chudidar. So it's all happening without even having a photo shoot. So the photo shoot money is not needed. You can just you can just simply type in the prompt in which attire you want to look, you want to appear in, and it will give you a portrait style of images that is possible in today's world. So that is something. Everybody have access to creativity. It is not limited to anybody. And the best part, as I always mention, these things are very free at the moment. So everybody can try their imaginations in this particular tool, and they can see how visually appealing their ideas are. So this is one thing. And the third thing, this is my favorite, personalization. So the content adapts to you. That is something I like to say about this. A playlist that understands your mood before you do, and this is happening really. For example, I don't know whether you guys know about Spotify and YouTube Music. So I prefer YouTube Music rather than Spotify because YouTube Music has Gemini integrated into it right now. So I felt it very amazing because when I searched something in the Google bar from my smartphone, about something that I might be looking for, something of a music kind of if I'm searching for pop music or if I'm searching for folk music, and I come back to this YouTube music, it suggests me all the folk and pop music in the suggestion section. It automatically detects my mood according to the searches I do. So they're collaborating, working with different endpoints of their own software to create something or create a better experience for the user. So this is working with YouTube, so you can check it out. And these are changing everything that we already have to a better space. So I would say that technology is finally adapting to humans. Like it's not forcing humans to adapt to technology. Like in the early days, that it was very hard for us to understand the technological part of a product or a language or a code, and we need to understand it anyhow because there is no way that we cannot go forward without understanding it. But today, if you don't know coding, if you don't know how to create an architecture of a particular product, it is easy for you. You just only need to have a simple English understanding, and you can type in the prompt and you can get the details about it. So things are changing very efficiently in a manner that it saves the time, it saves the cost, and it saves the practice that is needed for years to create something that already you have in mind. So that are it's like having thousand assistants all in one time to help you with all the ideas that you have and make it a reality. If you only have the curiosity to do that, that's the thing. So it's changing, it's adapting to what we're looking at. So that is one of the best things that we can see today. Are there challenges in it? Yes, there are challenges in it. So now let's be honest, okay? Every powerful tool that is created needs responsibility, right? So in AI, there are a lot of problems that we have to face that the training is not done properly, like bias, right? If AI learns from a biased data, it may repeat unfair ideas, like a child copying adults without understanding the context. For example, you saw someone and your father started speaking with them and in an adultly tone, and their friends they are of the same age. But if you copy that, if you go to that particular person and talk to the same way your father did, that won't look good. So this is the thing. So it should be trained. You should know whom you should speak to in which manner. So the training is very important for these models. And the second thing is the ownership in the copyright. If AI creates something, the question is, who owns it? I mean, is the user? Is it the tool, or is it the data source which he understood from? Nobody knows. So that's still the question. If you enter a prompt in ChatGPT today, you give it the prompt. So the prompt belongs to you. Okay. So ChatGPT gives you an image. Does the image belong to ChatGPT, or does the image belong to the source where the ChatGPT got trained? So those are the questions. Even if somebody says that ChatGPT owns it, ChatGPT doesn't create it because its ideas and imagination comes from you. So you are the owner. You are not the owner because you didn't train it. Because the data comes from somewhere else. So this confusion is already happening around, and people are trying to figure out how this can be legally apply and legally confirm that who owns the data or who owns the particular files that is created using AI. That's a discussion happening around the globe right now at the moment for these AI tools. And the third thing is energy usage, the high compute and energy requirements. Like training uses a lot of computing power. We all know that. Leaving all the lights on in the city, it works, right? If you look at some of the videos of China and YouTube, you can see well-lit cities, right? But it costs a lot of energy. It's the same way. So the God is not to stop the innovation. With all these problems, there are issues. They need to be finding fixes for it. But the God is not to stop the innovation, but to guide it wisely. So from my perspective, I would say that the most important thing that we should do is to make sure that when we train an AI model, we doesn't train it only technically, we also have to train it empathetically, because that is very important. The empathy should be there apart of when you train something, some kind of a model, because when this model leads to the result, it should be very clear and we shouldn't be biased. So that's something that we should keep in our mind when you're looking at something like this. As the future of generative AI, as I said, it is having a lot of capabilities. It is changing the future in one or the other way with different innovative industries. So, as I mentioned here, the digital world can be created, and the collaborator is the second part of it. For example, today musicians are creating music with the help of AI, and already it's happening. They are collaborating with AI. They're not only using it for their daily life purposes. They're using it for their career. So, from my perspective, today's AI in the current world and in the future, it's going to be changing from a machine or a software program that we use to something that we collaborate. That's two different things. Today we use it, in the future or in the coming days we collaborate with it for the work. If something comes up as a big project, all the team members started working with the AI, not with the use of it. They will start to work with the AI to bring up super efficient results for that particular project. That's also happening. So AI is changing the experiences of people in the industries where how the work can be done properly and how the work can be done efficiently and how the things can be changed from just imagination to becoming more of a real project and into the current world which can help a lot of people. So this is the future of generative AI, and it can change very well. For example, if you look at some of the social media platforms, you can see the generative AI videos which were created in 2023. So those videos weren't that good. At that particular time, everybody was like, okay, this is the AI video that was created with the prompt and it doesn't really look good. So I don't think that my imagination can have wings with these kind of software. But look at 2025, when we are concluding 2025 today, and we are stepping into 2026, the entire thing got changed. The entire thing got changed. For example, just if you have, everybody has a Google account, there is something called Google Bio 3.1. This is a very spectacular tool for creating cinematic profile videos. If you have the access, you can go, there are a lot of options, free options for students, you can go and check it out on the Google website. Just type in Google Bio 3.1 for students, you'll get it for free. Just try to bring your imaginations. If you want somebody in this particular group is interested in creating films or short films, you can do that with Neo 3. It just gives a cinematic effect and it just gives a very hyper realistic, video generation that doesn't look like AI. It looks very fluid, it looks very smooth, all the physics is proper, how the body movements are for person should be proper. So everything is getting to the next level when we enter 2026, and it's still going to be better when it's going to be 2027, 2028 and 2030. So the future is all about working, collaborating with AI rather than just working by ourselves, which we have an idea about what we have to do, but this time you have somebody to help you to make it much better. So that's how the future should. That's the future is going to be. So everybody should use these softwares to make your life better and easier, and your career better and easier. Okay, so we move on to the next thing. This is something about Edge AI. This is second superstar in the game. Okay, so I would say that what does Edge AI mean? It does intelligence that acts instantly. That is Edge AI. Simple as that. So we can change the direction slightly from what we learned about generative AI in this session to what Edge AI is. So, like it's like if you have ever clicked something in your smartphone screen and thought, why it's taking so long? Right? Sometimes it happens to us. We click on a website link or we click on a particular feature in an application. It takes so long to load and to give us that particular screen or a window or that result. So that particular delay happens because the data travels far away in that, right? It doesn't only set it up in the particular device. It travels far away to the cloud servers, it's placed in somewhere around California and USA, and takes information and gives back to you. So sometimes when the internet and the bandwidth goes down, this delay happens. But Edge AI solves this issue. It's like bringing the artificial intelligence directly into the device. Like it's like thinking before asking someone else. That's how it is. So, for example, your phone, the cameras, the card, or the sensor processes data locally inside the devices. So that's the part of Edge AI. So there are reasons why Edge AI feels very natural, and just think about touching something hot. Okay, you're cooking something in the kitchen, and you unknowingly and suddenly, without knowing, you touched something hot. You don't wait for the instructions from your mother to take that finger out of the pot or that particular vessel, right? Your hands move instantly. Edge AI works the same way. Okay, that's a simple example I can give you. Another example is like a car braking immediately when something crosses its path. So I'll give better example for this. So you can search it across the internet also. You already, I hope you already know the car Tesla, right? So Tesla works with AGI. So something crosses the road or something, there is a parking space in a supermarket parking ground. The device AI detects it, there is a parking ground, and it parks automatically. Then if somebody crosses the road, the Tesla stops automatically and detects collisions and gives you collision warning. When this particular vehicle is very near to you, you should stop, or else this car should stop and it slows down. And it also looks at both sides of the road while driving on a highway. This is all happening inside the car, so it's not going outside. And there is something about the cameras also. The cameras which recognize the face instantly. This is also AGI. Then medical devices that responds in real time. This is also AGI. So in this particular space of Edge AI, speed matters. And the best part is Edge AI delivers it. So that is the first super benefit of using Edge AI. And there are things that we look at when it comes to the possibilities and the benefits of what using Edge AI. Like Edge AI offers three big advantages in mainly, and one is the privacy, right? So data stays on the device. It's like keeping a diary instead of posting it online, right? If you go to visit Kodaikanal and you took a lot of tons of pictures, and you want to be discreet, you don't want to show that you went to Kodaikanal, but you want to remember the experience, what you have done in Kodaikanal. So you write a diary and keep it to yourself. So when you want to experience again how it felt in Kodaikanal with your friends or family, you can just go to just open the diary and read what you've written. That feels the same. And for everyone, you can just look at the photos you took. Nobody else has to know. So it keeps inside you. So that's one thing. It's very private. The second thing is reduced bandwidth, right? Which less data is sent over the internet, which is very safe for us because it's like cooking at home instead of ordering food every day, right? For example, if somebody uses Swiggy and Zomato to order chicken biryani every day. Let's think about this. Some guy is using Zomato or Swiggy for straight 1 week, 7 days, he orders it. For the first 5 days, he orders chicken biryani continuously. and the application learns, okay, this guy likes chicken biryani. Just list all the chicken biryani that we have from different restaurants in the suggestion menu. Let him pick. So it learns from you. So data sending out there makes you more vulnerable to what you like and what you do. That's another thing. And but if you cook inside the home your favorite meal, that's okay. You know it. Nobody doesn't want to have know what you've done. It's like your mother's sambar recipe doesn't go out. It stays inside the house, but it's too good. Nobody wants to know about how your mother's sambar recipe is. You can give a taste to everybody, but nobody wants to know the recipe, right? That's another thing. And the third thing is offline capability, which is the device works even without internet. That's the thing about it. Like a watch that still tells time during power cut, right? That's the best example. If the watch, if you look at the watch in the wall, it still tells the time, doesn't need power, right? That's another thing. So with all these three benefits on the side, it makes sure that the edge AI is making things easier for people in the industrial ways, where they are more looking towards the technology that can be used to make people's life easier. So the industries are getting, benefited from this. So what happens when everything changes to one single world? For example, what happens when generative AI meets the edge AI? Like imagine combining these both into one. Like there are devices that can create, understand, decide and respond instantly with the help of both these things. And for example, a smart camera that not only sees but understands what's happening in the environment, and the device that generates insights locally for you, and something like AI that works anywhere, anytime. So this is what's going to happen when it combines together, and this is going to be the best thing that we're going to experience in the future too. So talking about the future, right? So as I said, AI is no longer a replacement. AI is going to be your partner, and it's never going to be feel like a machine again. That's the new command. It's feel like a collaborator, as I mentioned earlier. So if you're an artist, you can brainstorm with AI. Engineers will produce prototype faster. Doctors will analyze patients smarter with the help of AI. And teachers and professors can personalize the learning styles and methods so they can teach efficiently and make students better understand in the concept they are teaching. And the students can understand it very easily. So AI becomes a creative partner. It's not a replacement. That's what's going to happen in the future. So here's the easy way. I'll just conclude with the easy way. How to remember today's message that I was speaking about. Like the generative AI helps us to imagine and create stuff, while the edge AI helps us to act fast and smart instantly. So basically, one part of the generative AI fuels the creativity, and the other part of the edge AI delivers the intelligence that matters when you're creating something with the generative AI. So together they make technology more human. That's the best word I can say at the moment, because they'll become more human, they'll become more interactable, they'll become one of your best partners in work and daily life. It's going to change how you work, how you live, how your life quality is going to change. Everything depends upon these factors. So the technology is always extended the human ability, right? For example, I would say when I bought the first car, so the wheels extended my legs, right? There were certain limitations for me when I was walking to certain places. But when I bought a car and when I bought a bike, it has speed. I just hopped into one of my vehicles and I started traveling. So it extended my legs to different places. And when I bought a phone, first phone when I bought one, it extended my voice. Right? And today, it's possible for us to talk to one of our friends in Bangalore or sitting in Rajapalayam or in Kerala. That's happening because of innovation that happened here. And the internet, right? There is the thing with the internet which extended our knowledge. In the earlier days, we would go to libraries and ask persons that know about this particular stuff, but today, it extended our knowledge. It's like a pocket library that we have today, right? The internet that we have, the AI that we have is a pocket library. You have any doubt regarding anything, just ask the master and get it done. So that's how things are going today. So AI extended our imagination. So this is the thing that AI do. AI extends our imagination better, and how we use that imagination is the choice of ours. We can't blame the technology for that. It will always happening with the technology. People blame technology blindly. That this is the reason because AI comes into the picture. People are using it for unwanted purposes. No, we can't say that. It's not because of the AI. It's the persons or the people who are using this particular AI. That's the choice of the people to use it how they want it. But mostly, all this particular AI is very secured and encrypted and moderated. They don't give you any kind of unwanted, details or information, even if you ask for it. They are very close, but there are still people who jailbreak these things and get what they needed. But still, all these companies are working too hard to not to give any kind of unwanted information that can ruin somebody's day or somebody's life. So they are working on that part. So my perspective is, if we build responsibly and thoughtfully, AI won't take away what makes us human, right? If we do something empathetically with AI, it will give you better results, and if you train it great, it will react without any bias. So it's all about how we train the thing. It's like having a child, you have to train it well. You have to understand the concept how this works. You have to understand the concept of why this works in this particular way. And then if you started using it, your life will get easier, your life will get better and more efficient. And your productivity also increases. But if you use it wrong, there could be a lot of side effects and consequences to other people as well. So it's all about us. It's not about AI. So never blame somebody. Some of your friends come and say that AI is the thing. AI is the reason because it's all happening. No, it's not. It's the people. It's not AI. So make sure that you use it very creatively, you use it very efficiently for your productivity in your career and your jobs and your daily life, not to hurt somebody, not to make somebody else vulnerable. It's always the kind of responsibility that you should carry on when you think about using AI, because AI can give you a lot of information. It's your decision what you should get and what you should understand. So becoming more human is the next stage of AI, and make sure that we also stay human with what's going to change. We shouldn't change from what makes us human. Okay? So I think that's it from my end for today. So I hope I've given you an overview of what things are happening around the world, how things are changing and crafting the world that we live in. I hope it was a good session, and as I mentioned in the starting stage, I try to keep very simple, not using technical terms which will confuse you. But at the end of the day, I'd like to say that make sure that you try it around. It's not always listen to me or others who will give you the experience. You have to experience what today's world is coping up with, and you have to experience what AI can do to you in terms of your creativity side, in terms of your imagination side, in terms of your coding side. So if you have something in your mind, just go and have your thing. Go and talk to the particular AI that you look for. There are thousands of tools you can work with. For example, if you want to create an image, you can use ChatGPT. I would suggest you can use Midjourney. Midjourney is a wonderful tool. It has better models trained for that particular stuff. If you want something in a narrative style with more lot of information, you can use ChatGPT. If you want the coding to be done better and the coding to be made better and to understand your code and to give you the pointers how that can be made more efficient, you can use something called Claude AI. Claude is one of the best for coding purposes, and there are a lot more AIs that you can train with for your musical journeys. You can try to create something with your photos with Photostat. Plus, the Photostat AI is something that helps you to create wonderful images of yours. If you upload 10 images of yours, it will give you great results. But at the end of the day, I just want to say, using only AI is not the effective way. You have to understand the concept. So to understand the concept, you have to learn the basics of every tool. So once you have the result from AI, you can tweak it accordingly in your personal tool, in your laptops and desktops and phones. So education is also important, and education about AI is also important. Make sure that you carry both with you, not only one. So make sure that you use everything very efficiently, and make sure that you use it very effectively, that it can change the way you think, it can change the way you live. And I just want to stop and wrap up this session by saying that the future that we are looking at and the future that we are imagining right now is all in our hands only. So make sure to use the technology safely with the little bit of empathy that's inside us, and stay healthy. Thank you. Yeah, that's it, fine. Thank you. Thank you so much for the time. Anybody have any questions on this?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah, sure.
How can students use generative AI in learning and projects, sir?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Even though I use it still today, right? You can use ChatGPT, you can use Perplexity AI. Just go to this particular, AI tool. You can just type OpenAI, you'll get a web page. Just open the ChatGPT page. Type in what you have to learn about. If you're learning APIs, just type in what are APIs, how does that function, and how can you please explain me the process flow of API connectivities and kind of stuff. You'll get the details for the particular project you're doing or that particular section that you want to learn in your classroom. So yeah, it's all about words, right? If you have basic English knowledge and how to prompt, how to give a prompt, that is very easy. Just try to understand how the language works, English language works, and just input your requirement into ChatGPT's pattern call, and it will give you the results that you're looking for. If not, you can say that this is not what I am looking for. Could you please elaborate more on what are the different kinds of API and how does that work collaborating with other tools? You can just also enter this prompt and you will get a more detailed structure of information which will help you to understand it more better. Does that make sense? Does that clear your doubt?
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Okay, we have a question here. Could you please tell us some concepts and features of Google Gemini related to generative AI? Sure. If you're using Google Gemini, there are a lot of possibilities that you can create, things with their own office. Like I hope you all know about their slides, Google Slides, Google Sheets, and Google Docs, right? Now, if you go to the email section of your Gmail, you can see Gemini is integrated to it. So, as most of us are using Gemini, it creates an environment for us to understand all our context and in a better way. For example, if there is a long email which I receive, and I just want to get an overview of it, I can ask the Gemini in the sidebar to give me an overview. That's one part of it. And the second part of Gemini is, I don't know whether you guys have noticed, Gemini has released one of the best AI generative image models, Nano Banana Pro. And currently it's free. I recommend you all to go and check it out, Nano Banana Pro. And this is going to be a revolution that's going to happen with the image generation AI platform. And it's using one of their best models with the best trained data. If you can go there, you can create whatever images you need for your projects. And basically, to combine that particular image with Google's Video 3.1, you can create a video of it. Currently, it's free and it has some limitations. Obviously, you won't get the best super model, trained model as free version. But I think for students, you guys have a lot of availability for the free for 1 year. You can check that out on the Google website. They already listed it out. And another feature of generative AI, Google AI, is there is something called Notebook LM. Okay, this is what I use very effectively for my job. So if I come across a concept which is too tough and difficult to understand, I'm also learning like you guys. I'm nothing different. I'm just working in a company and learning the process of product of the company. And if you guys come across a concept and it's very hard to digest in the language, you can go to Notebook LM and you can drop this particular content into it, or the data that you got that you want to understand. it will convert that data into podcast, like two people talking to each other and discussing about this. And if you're an auditory person who want to listen to stories, this is gonna work magic for you, right? This is working great for me actually. It's very interesting to see two people talking like podcast, and we also getting, in the subconscious mind that we are just filling up the data without even knowing that I'm trying hard to understand this. It's like listening to a podcast and getting all the data I needed and understanding it very effectively and easily with the help of Notebook LM. So this is another feature of generative AI, Gemini generative AI. You can search for Notebook LM Google, you will get it, a separate page. Then we have something in the slides, as I told, in the office space of Google. They have integrated the Gemini in such a way that it can be used by any new kid and to create good presentations and kind of stuff. For example, if you go at the right moment, if you can go to your laptop and search for Google Slide, open it. Well, you can input the basic content that you need, and at the bottom of each slide, you will see an option called Beautify the slide. Just click on that option and you can see the miracle working. You'll get a better, very polished, professional looking, slide at the moment. You just want to input the content, rest Google Gemini will do it for you. But all the time, as I said, using AI is one side, you can use it effectively, but make sure that if there is a situation that comes that we were not able to use AI, you should be well prepared to do that in your own. So that's also a part. So we shouldn't be very dependent on anything. That's the first thing. Getting dependent on anything too much is kind of a big problem. You can use AI, but make sure that you use it very effectively, and at the same time you understand how to create that even without AI in a better way, in your standard need. So this is about it. Then another feature of Google Gemini is what I like is about the share screen option. So it is available in the mobile and smartphone itself. So if you swipe to Gemini and you can share your screen, if you see something like, if you want to understand a setting in your mobile, you want to just enable haptic feedback on your phone. If you want to enable the always on display, or if you want to decrease the amount of screen on time, the lock screen time. Everything is, if you don't know where to go, you can just share the screen and talk to it. Like, okay, Gemini, just navigate me to the section where I can just decrease the amount of seconds for the lock screen, and it will say that as you go to settings, and it will wait until you go to settings. When settings comes, it will say scroll up, and when you scroll up, it says go to accessibility, go to screen, and go to lock screen. Like this, it will give you instructions like somebody on the other side. That's one of the best features that I am encountering in Google Gemini. And in the generative part, as I mentioned, there are two big things that happen. The one is the Neo 3.1 video generative model, and the Nano 1.2, which is the image generative model. So I would strongly recommend you guys to go through that today, sir, because if you're trying it today, I think you will have a better understanding how to use it for the future. Yeah. I hope that answers your question, VP, SL, CS, I don't know what name is there, but yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Sounds good. Any other questions? Okay, I think that's it for today. I hope, yeah, somebody was there. Somebody asked me something.
So shall we continue?
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I would like to welcome Ms. M. A.K.D.Dharma, first PhD Computer Science, to deliver a report of us.
Good morning to all. I extend my sincere thanks to our principal, guest speaker, faculty members, and participants for their valuable presence. Your support made this program successful. Thank you all.
Thank you, sister. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye. Take care.